All right, Mr. TALIAFERRO'S TV, how's everybody doing? Ladies and gentlemen, we have a week left before the NBA season kicks off, essentially. I can't believe I'm saying this. The Houston Rockets are trying to get their hands on Jimmy Butler. I know. Now, though details are scarce on just what exactly the Houston Rockets are trying to give up to acquire Jimmy Butler, here's what I know. You can't trade Carmelo Anthony. You just signed him this summer. He's unavailable until December to be traded. They got him off the waiver wire, so you can't even trade Melo yet. James Harden, they're not trading James Harden or Chris Paul. You can't even trade Chris Paul if you wanted to. So those three guys are obviously not in a deal by default, and Houston doesn't want to trade any of those guys. They wouldn't do that. That's not smart, right? Even if they could trade those guys, you don't make a move like that before the season. Houston looks really good in the preseason anyway. But guys like PJ Tucker are available. Now, I like PJ Tucker, a very tough dude, but you can't center a trade for an all-star and Jimmy Butler around PJ Tucker. I have been told that Houston has been as aggressive as any team in the league outside of Miami going after Jimmy Butler. They're making calls in Minnesota, and we know what code that the Houston GM Daryl Morey lives by. He is a shooter, all right? He lives by analytics. If he feels as though he can make his team make sense on the basketball court, if it makes sense from a numbers game, he will do it. Remember, this is the same guy that tried to pair James Harden and Dwight Howard together. This is the same guy that obviously wanted LeBron James to join LeBron to join James Harden and Chris Paul in Houston. This is the same guy that went out and wanted Melo on that Rocket team. He's an analytical guy, and in somehow, some form and fashion, Jimmy Butler makes sense in his analytical game to add to that roster. Now, he's made it clear. At this point in time, they know they're a body or two away from beating Golden State. And I'm going to be honest, though I felt like they were a body down against the Warriors in regards to star power, they had the Warriors beat last year in the NBA playoffs, period. So if they're able to go out and get a Jimmy Butler, as long as they can stay healthy, you got to believe the Rockets think they can beat the Warriors in the playoffs. You got to believe they think that they had them beat last year, right? So I'm looking at this from a perspective of Daryl Morey is going to get as many teams involved. It would take at least 4 teams. I don't think 3 teams could get this done because all the Rockets really got to offer is Tucker and draft picks. But here's the thing. If they get Jimmy Butler, you know that the pick's not going to be great because, I mean, they're going to be really great. Like, what do you want, a late first round or something? So I don't know what the Rockets have up their sleeves. I don't count them out because they're aggressive and they don't play games. They make things work. Getting rid of Ryan Anderson's contract was amazing to me. They got rid of that this summer, and he's in Phoenix now. And if you look at it, though I like Trevor Ariza, the basketball player, over Carmelo Anthony at this point in time, Melo against Durant is appetizing to me. I don't think Melo's nowhere close to on the level of KD. But if I can get Melo off the waiver wires, which is what they did, Trevor Ariza made $15 million a year in Phoenix. I don't want to pay Trevor that type of money. If I can get Melo for $1 million or $2 million, you're right, and have him, even though KD is clearly a better player than him, in the playoffs, I like Melo guarding KD. I like him being able to try to get in KD's head. We've seen KD not be the mentally of strongest people he had a burner Twitter account. So in regards to that, I like that. So you got Melo for $13 million less than Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza's not $13 million better than Carmelo Anthony. He's better, not $13 million better, right? So I like what they do. They're aggressive as heck, and they are trying to pull off the deal of the century as we speak. Somehow, some way, they feel as if though they have a fighter's chance at getting Jimmy Butler. And as of today, they're trying to pursue every avenue before they're ruled out in this sweepstakes for Jimmy B. Now, I don't believe they're going to find a way to get a deal done, but I can tell you what's one thing that the Rockets are, I mean, they're moving forward like they got something up their sleeves. One thing that's holding the Rockets back from getting Jimmy Butler, and why they want to make the deal happen right now, if they don't make the deal happen right now, they can't sign him because they're not going to have the money, right? You're giving Chris Paul and James Harden max money. So one thing that works in the Rockets' favor if they can get the deal to work right now is the bird rights. So that's a big thing. They could get Jimmy Butler's bird rights if they trade for him right now. Now, once the season starts, there's a deadline on that, and they wouldn't get Jimmy Butler's bird rights if they traded for him around All-Star break. So they want him now. They want him right now. Like, that's one of the big things for them. And then this summer, they can go deep into the luxury tax to re-sign. I mean, deep. They would be deep. And the luxury tax to re-sign Jimmy Butler. Also, Clint Capella makes a lot of money on that team as well. Don't sleep on that. They gave him a nice paycheck this summer as well. So they would be deep in the luxury tax, but the Rockets look like they're willing to pay that to compete for a championship for at least a season or two. Melo, again, off that waiver wire is a big deal. But even then, you're paying 3 guys close to max money right now. 2 guys super max money, and Clint he's close enough, you know. And to add Jimmy B, though you'd have his bird rights, I'm looking at this Rockets team like, yo, y'all better win a championship at that point, because you're really, I mean, y'all will be right behind. They be paying more money in luxury tax than what Cleveland was doing when they were paying all those guys those last couple years with LeBron, you know. So we will see. I think this is a long shot at best, but one person I've learned to not sleep on is Daryl Morey, and one team I've learned to not sleep on is Houston, because they can facilitate some deals. Thank y'all so much for the time and support. By the way, they got James Harden, and I love Steven Adams because he was in that deal for Harden. But all due respect to Steven Adams, they stole James Harden from the Oklahoma City Thunder. Never forget that. All right, that would kind of make. That would be a similar deal. And that, remember, that deal got close to the beginning of the season. Obviously not this close, but it was very close. So we've seen them do something like this in the past. We'll see if they can pull it off again. I keep you guys up to date. Again, long shot at best, but the Rockets are on the phone with Minnesota. I'm out.